This is Johnny Boots. Yeah, I just saw the movie The Irishman, directed by Martin Scorsese in the year of our Lord 2019. And I'm in America. It actually came on a little bit earlier in California, on the West Coast, at 12 a.m. because they're on the Pacific Coast and for Netflix. And I'm in New York City, so it came on around 3 o'clock in the morning. I stayed up late. But I gotta tell you, it's a great movie. It's a great movie, and it kind of reminds me of the old Scorsese type of side of when he was in Casino in the 1990s, the mid-90s. And it's a long movie, I gotta tell you that, first off. It's a little bit drawn out, but it's very interesting that it actually collaborates all of a timeline of the mafia involved with the government, also involved with Jimmy Hoffa as the head of the Teamsters Union. And it's really amazing movie because it starts off as a character like you and I, a working man, not wanting to do something bad, but getting involved in something that would make you a little extra money, a little escarot. So De Niro, with his age, reflects, brings him back to when he's like a 25, 30-year-old man out of World War II, when he fought the Germans, and he already knew how to kill people because he was military trained like I am. You see the American flag, United States of America, U.S. Navy, 6 months. Anyway, besides that, like he murdered a lot of people in the war, so he already had that killer instinct in him. So the movie is gonna actually, I'm gonna talk about what happens in the movie right now. So whoever doesn't want to be involved in this stream or this video, you can log out right now, it's no problem. But you know, it's on Netflix. If you want to do it, it's like $9.99 a month. It's pretty good. So okay, here we go. So the movie starts off with De Niro driving a truck, and his truck breaks down, and all of a sudden a guy comes to help him, a little guy. He's like a little monkey. His name is Joe Pesci, and he's playing a very true story mob boss guy. I'm not gonna say no names because from Donnie Brasco, you don't say names. You don't say the names. So he helps him out with his spark plug or something like that under his truck, and he never forgets the guy because he gets in trouble with his Teamsters Union. When somebody is which is De Niro, he's stealing the products, which is meat, off of the trucks and selling them underhandedly to the mob guys for extra pay for his family. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just Italians are really twisted people. Anyway, don't worry, I'm Italian, I could say that, it's all right. If I was black, it'd be something else. Anyway, but black people are very fine people. I like the black people. Very nice people. I have very friends that are black. This shirt is black, it's nice. Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying about, so he pays off people, you know, getting the meat off the trucks. So eventually he gets caught, and he's about to get fired, but a lawyer steps in involved, which is a cousin, I believe, or a nephew, relative of Joe Pesci, played by Ray Romano. Everybody loves Raymond. He does a good part, Ray Romano. He's a pretty good actor. I didn't expect him to be a decent actor, but he plays a good lurky, quirky type of lawyer. And he gets De Niro off, and that's when they and then that's when they meet again, and he talks to him about painting houses. Now, I didn't know this beforehand, but there's a book written by a writer that I don't know the name, that's entitled "I Heard You Paint Houses." So that means he kills people. So he gets them involved in hitting people, whacking people, putting a dime in the guy's head, bing, bing, you're dead. Lights out. 911, no. You don't get the cops involved because they pay off the cops with the graft. And Hoffa gets involved because he gets promoted in this whole business, De Niro. And Hoffa hears about De Niro. He's Irish. Hoffa's Albanian or Hungarian, something like that. But he's a Catholic boy. They're both Catholics. And Joe Pesci is the middleman that gets them involved in jobs, making Hoffa be more powerful in the Teamsters Union. Now, Hoffa back in this period in time was a very powerful individual with the government and with the city and with the state and with the federal. But he got in trouble when he was caught being a fraudulent activity. Because, to be honest, the Kennedys, the reason why the Kennedys were in office was because the mob actually took, you see it in the movie, names off of headstones that actually were dead people, and they actually went to the polls and actually made the names of voters. So that's how John F. Kennedy was elected. Now, Senior Kennedy was involved long time with the mafia. Long time, and I guess the boys didn't get the message because they started going after Hoffa, started going after Tritiano, they started going after Rubiano, Gravano, all these big time mob bosses to make a publicity show type of careers. And that was the bad move because, as we all know in history, that the Kennedys were murdered. What do you think murdered them? The mob. Hoffa didn't really appreciate one guy in the movie and in real life. He was played by a guy that played Boardwalk Empire. His name was Tony. A real good saying in the movie about Al Pacino says that they're all named Tony. I'm Italian. My name is not Tony. My name is Johnny. Same thing almost. Same syllables. Johnny, Tony. Yeah, same thing. We're all incest. It's nothing wrong with that. Have you heard of Caligula? He was Italian too. Anyway, don't forget about that. Forget about that.
You need to lay down in your bed.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't talk. Anyway, I'm doing a show here for my fans. They pay me. You don't pay me. Okay. Anyway, listen. Hoffa was actually he got into a fist fight in jail with this guy Tony, and Tony wanted to have a sit down together to try and get things back together where business was working smoothly. By this time, Senior Kennedy was dead. Robert Kennedy was dead. So was John Jr. John F. Kennedy. John Jr. Sorry, didn't die until I was a baby, and then early 90s. But it's weird though, right? To get back to Hoffa and this guy Tony, they didn't want to make up with each other because Hoffa wasn't Italian. He was Hungarian or Albanian. I got to double check it, but don't worry about it. You'll probably put a comment saying what he really was. Hoffa's cousin or his son will come on saying, "You're dead next week, Johnny Boots, because you disregarded what you had to say. You fucking idiot!" Bang, bang, bang. Sorry. What I was saying before, Hoffa, he said "you people" in the movie, "you people," and that's kind of racist, even today's standards. So he says, "What are you calling you people? You people, that's something to do with me. Do you think I'm lower than you?" Al Pacino, Hoffa, says, "Yes, you are lower. A lower class, you fucking cocksucker." bam, 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 they start fighting and stuff like that. So all of this explodes into Hoffa's demise. Hoffa gets killed by his own security guard slash best friend, Robert De Niro, an Irishman. And it's a shame because they were such good friends, and the daughter of Robert De Niro knew this was going on the whole time he was working. And she actually felt so bad for him that, well, she felt bad for herself and her other siblings that she stopped talking to this scumbag. I would do the same thing. You know, my father's shooting people on the outside. He still calls that work. He's a fucking devil reincarnated from Dracula. And De Niro looked a little bit like Dracula because his eyes in the movie were actually changing color. Netflix, you got to get it right next time you do that, because his eyes looked like he had cataracts, or his eyes looked like he was an alien. They should have put that on the cutting board before they put that out. It's a good movie, though. It's a good movie, but I wouldn't say it's like the grandest stage of movies ever of all cinema. So, other than that, he was wearing high heels in the movie, De Niro. But Joe Pesci's acting was actually superb. I got to give it to, this is the best movie, in my opinion, that Joe Pesci has ever been in his life. Probably will ever be in. Besides from Raging Bull. Because Joe Pesci was pretty much the really main kingpin in this movie. He was a lot different than what you usually see him as. Very violent, very versatile and volatile. He wasn't like that at all. He was more of a cool, calculated cat. He dressed well, carried a suit with him everywhere he went, very well spoken, and drank Chivas Regal. Who else could that be? You notice the Galliano and the wine in the back? You know, you got to be a success. You got to dress like a success, be a success. You got to be a success. And De Niro, Pacino, Pesci, and Harvey Keitel were very successful in this movie. I just feel like Harvey Keitel could have been utilized a little bit more. You know, he could have been a little bit more like useful in the movie. But he does have a few points in there where he scares De Niro like he's going to shoot him. But you know, not him basically being the button man, but somebody else. But Joe Pesci actually is a stand-up guy, and he makes him, he saves him in a lot of different times. And they wanted to save Hoffa. They really wanted to save Al Pacino's character, but Hoffa was so stubborn and so thick-headed on him being his union and his thing that it didn't work. It didn't work. Like they actually started. They put out a hit on him. They put De Niro on a plane, a private charter jet, which cost, mind you, $10,000 an hour, not including the fuel. I tried to do it myself. I didn't have the credit. Did I tell you I'm going bankrupt? Yeah. But so did Trump do. Anyway, men with power do a lot of rigorous things. And this movie is about power. It's about religion. It's about elderly. It's about politics. It has everything wrapped into it. Even some comedy too. But it's funny. Jim Norton plays Don Rickles. He looks like an alien. Looks like he shouldn't be there. And he's not acting like Don Rickles. He's being Jim Norton acting like Don Rickles, if you know what I mean. Okay, thank you so much. And they wrapped up Hoffa's body and actually show you what happened to his body. They actually show you he was cremated, he was burned alive, he was burned, he was dead. And
good evening. Pesci, Pacino,
could be louder.
De Niro, and Scorsese. The movie, the characters, number one, acting. Ultimately, it was a terrific movie. And at the ages of the actors at this time, I didn't expect what an epic of art that the movie is. I enjoyed it. The movie is great, if not better, than The Godfather 2.